Newcastle, Pennsylvania, a city near the Pennsylvania-Ohio border just 18 miles southeast of Youngstown, Ohio. Mahoningtown, a neighborhood in the city of Newcastle, was the home to Andy Tamelio, Carmen Nicera, and Bobby Parada. They all grew up being best friends and are still best friends till this day.
Hi, I'm Bob Parada. I grew up here on this patio in this house. My parents are right here with me, still living, 85, 86. All right, these are my parents, Rosa and Chalvers, a big inspiration. And obviously my dad and mother were both very athletic. I'm one of 7 children. We all competed at different things at different times.
Chalvers, the father of Bobby Parada, says that Andy Tamelio and Carmen Nicera had a positive impact on his son's life.
Boys, they're all good boys. I don't know what to really tell you because they were kids and they never got into any trouble and they was all close.
Andy Tamelio still lives in Mahoningtown, and he still lives in the very same house in which he grew up in.
I'm Andy Tamelio. I am born and raised in this house. 62 years old. I haven't moved very far. Still live with my mom, who's 88. You know, for me, the fact that we're in Mahoningtown was a driving force behind everything I did, because I had so much pride in this little community that I never wanted to be a disappointment for them. We've been in sports and different things all our lives, but it was really hoping that I could be something that this community, this small Italian community, could be proud of me. So having family all around on every block, it just, you either went one way or the other, and we were lucky by the grace of God. And Bob mentioned my uncle Ralphie Tamelio. He was probably the one of the foundations of my athletic career, because he was a very hard-handed, loving, tough coach.
I want to give credit to one more person who encouraged Bobby and thought he was a pretty darn good football player, and that was Ralph Tamelella, Andy's uncle. He came knocking at the door and said, "Please, Mr. Parada, please get your son to come back down." He didn't want to come back anymore, but Ralph pleaded with us, and he went, and I think it was a good thing that he did.
My name's Carmen Nicera. I grew up down Mahoningtown. Actually, my mom and dad got married, and if you turn the camera to the house, this is the house that my mom and dad lived in, which happens to be Bobby Parada's mom and dad's house. I got involved in sports by playing sandlot.
Junior high football coach Larry Pugh not only had a positive impact on Andy Tamelio, Carmen Nicera, and Bobby Parada's football careers, but he was also a great mentor as well.
Larry Pugh, who I have so much gratitude for, because Larry was merciless, but again, there was love behind everything he did.
Quick story about Larry and his discipline. We were in our first scrimmage game. I just get in, and we scored a touchdown. I went offside, and we're all celebrating in the end zone. We come back to the huddle. Coach Pugh's on the, I still have trouble calling him Larry, you know, they instilled such discipline in us. And we're in the huddle, and he said, "You guys think you scored, but Parada went offsides." And he grabs my face mask, and my feet are dangling, and I don't think I ever went offsides again. So they were great disciplinarians.
Talking about Coach Pugh, we established a junior high scoring record. We beat Farrell 63-0 on a Thursday. Friday, before the Newcastle football game, he made us have a short practice. He made us run 600-yard bear crawls. That was our practice, because he didn't want us to get cocky.
And Larry drove us every day, and I know it sounds like, you know, the old stories, but we were the only junior high football team in the history of George Washington that was undefeated, untied, and unscored upon. So we'll always have a little bit of place in history. And Lindy Laurel just, he set the stage for Lindy, and Lindy was another perfectionist that you learn by repetition. And, as we've gotten older and we've been successful, any chance I have to talk to anybody about, what were some of the experiences that led to our success, it has to be, besides family, it has to be those coaches, because they instilled a work ethic to never give up. It was never easy, and so there isn't anything that we ever contend with that is going to be more difficult than what we've been through.
Andy Tamelio was an outstanding high school football player for the Red Hurricanes. He was an all-state linebacker, and it even earned him a trip into the Lawrence County Hall of Fame. He then went on to further pursue his college football career at Virginia Tech University, playing for the Hokies for 2 years, before returning home to finish out his college career, playing for the Westminster College Titans. While playing for the Titans, Andy Tamelio had an opportunity to play for legendary Hall of Fame football coach Joe Fusco, and he had to say a couple words about the legendary head coach.
And so I felt, the day that I stepped on campus, that Coach Fusco was more like a family member than a coach, and he's to this day remained that way, and to this day we stay in touch.
Bobby Prada was another outstanding football player for the Newcastle Red Hurricanes, breaking multiple records while in high school and also earning a trip into the Lawrence County Football Hall of Fame. From success on the football field, Prada carried that over into baseball as he was a 2-year starter at catcher for the Red Hurricane baseball team. Bobby Prada was one of the best running backs to play for Geneva during his career from 1978 through 1981. When he graduated, he owned the school record for rushing yards, career points, and career touchdowns with 34. He also broke the single-game rushing record with 186 yards in 1980. He was a dangerous receiver as well, finishing his career with 48 catches and 587 yards, along with 9 receiving touchdowns. And now finally, Carmen Nacera, who was a nose tackle for the Newcastle Red Hurricanes, playing football, very successful as a football player. Nacera was a standout baseball player for Newcastle. He was a 2-year starter for the baseball team, and he got to play alongside his best friend, Bobby Prada. After high school, Nacera decided to both play football and baseball for the Geneva Golden Tornadoes. He was an all-conference selection in football, but baseball is where he shined the brightest. He was a 4-year starter, a 2-time all-district, all-area pick, and he earned All-American honors. He's also broke 13 existing school records. After college, Nacera focused on becoming an administrator and a coach, and still does both of those things today.
Okay, well, this is my 22nd year as an administrator. I was 18 years in the Newcastle system, K-3 principal, 1-3 principal, junior high principal, and I was at the high school as an assistant principal. After that, I did 3 years at East Palestine middle school, and after that, this is my 2nd year at Liberty as a dean of students, working with Dr. Tamelio, better known as Andy.
Nacera loves working alongside his best friend, Andy Tamelio.
I love it. Been around a lot of administrators, a lot of superintendents. He's the man. He's the best. He does the things that are right by kids, and he holds his conviction and what he believes in, and that's very strong.
Having Carmen not only as a trusted colleague, but as a friend, he can be very honest with me. And so, as he often does, shares his opinions with me. We don't always agree, but it's really a blessing to have someone like him working with me. And we've tried to get Bobby out of retirement to be a substitute teacher because we need them. and because we know he would be tremendous and our kids would love him, but he's very, very content to be retired at this time.
Tamelio is the current superintendent at Liberty Local Schools in Youngstown, Ohio. Nacera was and still is a very passionate coach, primarily coaching baseball, and he's coached in a number of different schools.
Started out at West Branch and coached football, baseball there. Palm Beach County, I coached at Palm Beach Community College and St. Aloysius High School, football, baseball. I then came back to Newcastle, was a head baseball coach there. And after that, I got the head coach at Westminster.
During Nacera's time at Westminster, he racked up 228 career wins, won 2 PAC championships in 2005 and 2012, and was named to PAC Coach of the Year in 2005 as well. Nacera has had other coaching stints as well, but in 2023, Nacera gets a new opportunity.
I just got hired recently to be the new head coach at Penn State Shenango in downtown Sharon. I've been very blessed. God has blessed me, and you know, He puts you in positions where He wants you, and I'm just so excited to be there. And I know that, you know, it'll be a good program, and you know, when you, at the end of the day, it's a Penn State degree, so you can't beat that.
Bobby Prada was in education as well and enjoyed working with kids. That inspired him to write a children's book in honor of his son. A portion of the book proceeds are donated to foster care and adoption agencies locally, regionally, and nationally.
And I have a book that I wrote called The Path, and it's for sale $12.99 on lulu.com. Please support my book. Thank you.
Besides writing his own book, Prada has other hobbies.
One of my hobbies is making wine, so every day I stir it, and this is part of the process. I enjoy wine making and wine drinking. Good. Another nice hobby I enjoy is planting garlic in the fall, and so it's a very simple process. Get a clove, and you just put it in the ground, and usually I have a nice glass of wine, plant my garden, and enjoy life.
One of Tamelio's biggest hobbies is hunting.
I also had my second love growing up besides football was hunting.
Finally, Nacera's hobby is playing baseball. He grew up loving baseball, playing baseball. He coached baseball, and he still enjoys playing.
Been one big family from our whole career, from playing in the streets, playing every kind of ball you can imagine, Pop Warner, junior high, high school, college. We've been blessed to have lived the lives that we've been able to.